Atlanta continues to own the offensive glass here in the fourth quarter. Great board.
You lost. You failed. Loser! I don't even play basketball and I would have made that shot. And even if I didn't make that shot, I'd have did something funny. You know, I'd have did something funny. Caitlin Clark was like, hey, let's all do this hoop code hand point.
But just 35% from three after a couple years in the 40s. Howard misses that one.
Atlanta was controlling the offensive boards deep into the fourth quarter, and nobody could do anything about it. You lost, you failed, you blew it. People online weren't shy about letting Angel Reese know exactly how they felt. One comment put it bluntly, I don't even play basketball, and I would have made that shot. And if I didn't, I at least would have done something funny. That's how bad it looked. Here's how it unfolded. Ryan Howard airballed a shot late in the game, and the ball landed right in Angel Reese's lap at point-blank range. The whole world collectively looked at that situation and said, yeah, she's not making this. Then she got to the rim. Then everyone switched to, oh wait, she's got it. Then she missed. And that wasn't a fluke moment buried in the box score. That is exactly what happened on the floor between the Indiana Fever and the Atlanta Dream. No exaggeration required. By the time the final buzzer hit, Reese wasn't celebrating anything. She was standing under the rim with her hands on her head while Caitlin Clark walked right past her, smiling, heading toward yet another win.
Ryan Howard or Alicia Gray, I think Ryan Howard, airballs a shot to win the game late. It lands in Angel Reese's lap, and collectively the whole world said, yeah, she ain't making that. Collectively, the whole world said, oh, Angel Reese has it? Oh, and it's a layup? Yeah, she's breaking that. And lo and behold, point blank range to win the game, we get a classic Angel Reese pray up and a
Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese after she missed a wide open layup for the win.
Quarter. Great board, just could not convert it.
Was pushed under the hoop just enough to not have a great angle. To OT we go.
If you want to know why this rivalry keeps heating up instead of cooling down, this single game hands you the whole picture. It had enough twists and drama that people who barely follow the WNBA were still talking about it the next morning. The comments section was ruthless. Angel Reese is a pure bum. She missed like 7 layups in the first quarter. One person went completely off the rails and said she's the type to steal trash off your curb and try to put it in her refrigerator. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark dropped 26 points and 9 assists and made the whole thing look effortless. So was this Indiana humiliating Angel Reese? Or did Reese just handle that job herself? The Fever won with 29 points and 9 assists from Clark, and the final image of the night was Reese standing still while Clark walked away with another statement victory. Let's go back to where things actually got physical, because this didn't start as some personal war between two players who already have history. It started with Reese getting cooked on defense, plain and simple.
Angel Reese, you had me laughing at you, girl. I told you, Angel Reese is a pure bum, the worst kind. Angel Reese is the type to steal the trash off your curb and try to see if she can go put it in her refrigerator. The girl can't make a layup to save her life. She missed like 7 layups in the first quarter. Meanwhile, me, the GOAT, Caitlin Clark, I'm putting on shows every single night. 26 points, 9 assists. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever humiliate Angel Reese. Or maybe Angel Reese just humiliated herself, as the Indiana Fever go on to win. 29 points, 9 assists. Am I looking like the...
Midway through the first quarter, Clark pulled up from deep with Reese right on her, contesting as hard as she possibly could. Didn't matter. The ball dropped through the net clean. Because Reese was having an absolutely terrible game, and that's putting it kindly. Angel Reese was struggling from the jump. There was that early possession where she leaked out, found her spot, and the result was just painful to watch. One of those moments where you wince and look away. Yikes doesn't even cover it. That's the kind of shot that quietly gets inside a defender's head, even if the crowd doesn't pick up on it right away. You do everything right, you're in good position, you contest hard, and the ball goes in anyway. For someone like Reese who takes real pride in being physical and disruptive, that's gotta sting. Then Clark had the audacity to laugh after Reese missed the game-winning layup. And honestly, hard to blame her. That layup was there for the taking. Helen Keller could have made that layup.
Because she was crap in this game. A bag of crap. She was awful. Angel Reese was terrible. Speaking of terrible, Angel Reese never beating the allegations. This was to open the game.
With Reese leaking out, finds her.
Lee Sheet, that was awful. Wow, that was awful. One more good time. It did a... Yeah. Yikes. Holy moly. Holy...
It wasn't even the first one she missed. She blew a wide-open drive in the first quarter, too, then capped it off by missing the game winner. And through all of this, the halftime crew was out there treating Reese like she was playing better than Kelsey Mitchell, better than Caitlin Clark even. She also bricked a three-pointer so badly it's no mystery why defenses just leave her wide open out there. The look on her coach's face when that layup rattled out said everything words couldn't. At least Reese was straight up about it at halftime with Holly. That part was actually a little refreshing. She basically said she knew she was playing badly and needed to step up. Give her credit for that. She's solid on defense, always has been, and she's a rebounding machine. But the shot selection needs to go away. Just stop. A few possessions after that, Ryan Howard put up a shot that missed, and both Reese and Clark scrambled for the loose ball under the basket. That's when things got ugly. Instead of using her body to box out like you're supposed to in a rebounding battle, Reese drove her forearm straight into Clark's neck to keep her away from the ball. This wasn't a bump. It wasn't two players colliding midair in a scramble. It was a clear, deliberate shove directly to the...
Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese for missing the game-winning layup! Helen Keller could have made the layup! It was the fucking second layup that she missed. She missed a wide-open drive in the first quarter, and then she misses the game-winning layup. And then, of course, we have the halftime crew just glazing Angel Reese, making it seem like she's a better player than Kelsey Mitchell, making it seem like she's a better player than Caitlin Clark. And Angel Reese with the total brick of a three-pointer. No wonder why they left her wide open, misses the layup. And look of disappointment on both her coach and teammates' face when she missed the game-winning layup. At least Angel was honest at halftime with Holly. I was a little bit impressed by that, where she was like, hey, I am playing like shit right now. I really got to step it up. I will say she is good on defense. She's always good on defense. She's a rebound machine, but she shouldn't shoot the ball so much. This photo just like needs to be...
neck. The kind of foul that gets called automatically in almost any other competitive setting without any debate. What makes it worse is where it happened. Not in a crowd, not in some corner where officials might have lost the angle. It went down right in front of two referees, standing in the paint in full view under bright arena lights with cameras from multiple angles capturing every frame of it. Howard's miss goes out of bounds and Indiana gets the ball back, with 4:10 left in the first quarter and the Fever holding a 2-point lead. Then it happens. Angel Reese catches Caitlin Clark clean in the throat with 35 seconds on the clock, and the footage doesn't lie. One hit to the neck, then another to the throat. What exactly is going on out there?
40s. Howard misses that one. Out of bounds. And it will be Indiana basketball. 4:10 to go in the first, and the Fever lead by 2.
So, let's go to Angel Reese clocking Caitlin Clark right in the throat hole.
With just 35.
Right here, you're going to watch. There she gets her in the neck. And there she gets her in the throat. Yeah. What are we doing? Neck, throat.
Look at how she hit Caitlin in the neck. Look, watch this. First time, look, second time. Bro, like, what are we doing? And then the refs act like they didn't see it. Like, bro, the refs in Atlanta got...
Clark spun around immediately, arms out wide, looking straight at the officials. She wasn't hiding it or playing it up. She got hit in the neck going after a basketball, which is one of the most obvious fouls you can call at any level of this game. The referees didn't move. No whistle, no review, nothing. Reese didn't even glance back to see if a call was coming. She just turned and ran up the floor like it was a routine defensive stop, wearing the same blank expression you'd see after grabbing a simple rebound. Watch the replay once. Watch it again. The refs in Atlanta saw nothing somehow. The internet moved fast. Clips of that shove were flying across social media within minutes, racking up hundreds of thousands of views before halftime even arrived. Fans who usually try to stay out of this rivalry, the ones who claim they just want clean basketball without choosing a side, had no defense for what they just watched. One fan said it plainly. Reese isn't a rebounder when she actually has to use technique and positioning. She's a player who grabs and shoves when the ball doesn't bounce her way.
Yo, Caitlin Clark is ridiculous, man, and in my opinion, she's the MVP right now. I mean, this performance by her was just insane, and look at this three right away in Angel Reese's face.
The switch on Reese will fire. And
it's really obvious that these two do not like each other.
Reese on a fast break. She sucks from three. Boom, whoa. Angel Reese on a layup. Can't score it. She stinks. Look at all these layups missed. The girl is awful. The girl is garbage. Here she comes. I'm going full court. Hey, boom. Get that out of here. She sucks. Here comes Angel Reese coming down the lane again. Uh-oh, spinning and missing another layup. It's missing another layup. Here we go. She's looking for fouls. Here we go, down low. Uh-oh, I'm spinning. I'm missing another layup. The girl is horrible. The girl is terrible at the game. Here we come, coming down the lane. Here we go. I lost it out of bounds. Down low again, another layup opportunity. And she missed it. She's terrible. Here we go for three. Clank. Here we go. Game on the line. Uh-oh, I can win it. Smoke the layup. Then Naz Hillman follows up and smokes the layup. I mean, you starting to rub off on the other people on the roster.
Another fan brought up something that made it sting even more. Just minutes before the shove, Clark had scored right over Reese's best contest. So it stopped looking like a hustle play gone sideways and started looking a lot like frustration spilling out in real time. Whatever the reason behind it, the pattern fans have gotten used to watching from Reese in this matchup showed up again. Physical, aggressive, and operating right at the edge of what a clean basketball play actually looks like. And while that's all happening, Clark is out there hitting threes straight in Reese's face, looking like the best player on the floor by a wide margin. The tension between these two isn't subtle anymore. It's written all over every possession they share. But here's the thing about that kind of physical gamesmanship. It only matters if it actually changes what's on the scoreboard. That night gave Reese nothing to work with. She spent the entire first half searching for an offensive rhythm that never showed up, missing shots in the paint that she usually converts in her sleep. When the final shooting numbers came in, she'd gone 0 for 6 to open the game and finished 5 for 16 from the field. For a player whose whole identity is built on efficiency and physicality around the basket, that's a rough night by any measure. She didn't disappear entirely. 14 rebounds, 6 assists, fighting for every board she could grab.
5 seconds. Howard launches. Missed it badly. Reese the putback. Won't go. Hillman, no. And we have...
Did y'all see that game? That was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer individual. Angel Reese, probably the most despised person in the history of all sports, couldn't get a layup in. She tried the first time, couldn't get it. She tried the second time, couldn't get it. Even her teammates was like, come on, man. The third time at that point, the Indiana Fever just backed off. They're like, nah, come on, girl. I mean, we feel bad. Go ahead. She's like, I'm Jordan. No, I'm not. Meanwhile, mother freaking Kate Clark was laughing at her. She was like, the camera caught it. They even had to do a double take. She did the moonwalk. She was like, beat it.
But the same aggression that fueled that neck shove wasn't finding its way into made buckets, and the gap between her intensity and her production was impossible to ignore. Clark, for her part, looked completely unbothered by all of it and just kept playing her game. Meanwhile, the commentary from the crowd was relentless. Angel Reese on a fast break. She sucks from 3. Boom! Angel Reese on a layup. Can't score it. She stinks. Look at all these layups missed. The girl is awful. The girl is garbage. Here she comes down the lane, spinning and missing again. It's missing another layup. She's looking for fouls. Down low, I'm spinning, I'm missing another layup. The girl is horrible. The girl is terrible at the game. Coming down the lane, loses it out of bounds. Another layup opportunity gone. She's terrible. Here we go for three. Clank. And then with the game on the line, uh-oh, I can win it. And she smokes the layup.
Free throws here for Ryan Howard, who's going to resuscitate this game for Atlanta. But Indiana will immediately challenge it. Let's see. Oh, I don't see anything.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Yeah. I told y'all Caitlin Clark was going to put on a show versus Angel Reese and show why she's the real MVP. Not no me bounds, falling everywhere, missing layups everywhere. Angel Reese, your palms were sweaty, knees weak, arms was heavy, was vomit on your jersey already. Mom spaghetti, you're nervous. You look like pure garbage.
Naz Hillman follows right behind her and smokes one too. I mean, you starting to rub off on the other people on the roster? Fast forward to the fourth quarter, and this thing had turned into a street fight. Alicia Gray was putting together the game of her life for Atlanta, on her way to a career-high 32 points, and the dream kept clawing back every single time Indiana tried to create breathing room. Score tied at 81, clock draining toward 0. Ryan Howard launched a three that clanked off the front rim hard. Reese went after it with Aaliyah Boston practically draped across her back the whole way, and somehow she ripped down the offensive rebound in heavy traffic. This was her moment. This was exactly the kind of play she had been throwing her body around all night trying to manufacture. All she had to do was finish it clean. She couldn't. Howard's miss, Reese's putback attempt, gone. Hillman's follow, no. The possession slipped away, and the ball game hung right there in the balance. Reese had Boston draped all over her and almost no room to operate. She got a putback attempt off, and it didn't even clip the front of the rim, clanking short with seconds still on the clock.
A wide open layup on a fast break is by far one of the most embarrassing things you can do in the sport of basketball. Whether you're in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, professional, WNBA, NBA, it doesn't matter. It's just a terrible look regardless. And then missing a game-winning layup as a big, I'm sorry, you just can't defend some of these things. And I always have Angel Reese's back, but we gotta do better. Yeah, she finished the game with 15 points, 14 boards, and 6 assists. That's an amazing game. But then you look at her splits, she shot 31% from the field. She shot 5 for 16 from the field as a big.
Shoots it, airballs it, right into Angel Reese's lap. And you know what everybody said? Collectively, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking, bricked it. Point blank, with a chance to win the game, bricks it. This is something we see from Angel Reese every single game, brick city. Earlier in the game, we saw Angel Reese matched up against Caitlin Clark on a screen. Caitlin Clark sees Angel Reese. Oh, this is easy. Step back, hold up. Easy money.
The ball bounced loose, and Naz Hillman scrambled hard after it, throwing up a follow-up layup of her own, only for Boston to reach back and swat that one away too. 2 chances right at the rim. A golden opportunity to send Indiana home with a loss. Atlanta couldn't convert either one. All that work Reese put in fighting for position, all that physical effort to get herself to the right spot. And when the moment arrived, when the game was sitting right there ready to be taken, she couldn't get it done. That sequence went everywhere. Every platform picked it up instantly, because it wasn't just the missed shots, it was what happened right after. Reese stood under the basket in visible disbelief, teammates moving in to console her, and the broadcast cut away to Caitlin Clark walking back toward the fever bench. She was smiling, not a polite little grin either, an actual laugh, clearly entertained by everything that had just played out in front of her. Maybe it was relief after a stretch of tight physical basketball, but the cameras caught it clean and had to do a double take. That image spread fast. Now, here's where things could have gotten really messy for Indiana, because the game was nowhere near finished. Regulation ended tied, and both teams were pushed into overtime running almost entirely on emotion at that point. Fumes, pure adrenaline. That's all either side had left. With about a minute left in overtime and Indiana holding onto a slim lead, officials called a foul on Clark that sent Ryan Howard to the free throw line for 3 attempts. Indiana challenged it immediately, and for a moment it looked like the call might get wiped away. But the review didn't change a thing. Indiana challenged the call right away, and even the broadcast crew said live on air that they fully expected officials to reverse it once they checked the replay. It looked weak. It looked like exactly the type of call that gets waved off 9 times out of 10 in that situation. Instead, the officials went to the monitor, took a long look, and let the call stand anyway. Howard walked to the line completely unfazed and knocked down all 3 free throws without a hint of pressure, slicing what had been a comfortable fever cushion down to just 2 points in an instant. For a brief moment, it genuinely looked like the refs were about to hand Atlanta a lifeline in a game they had no right to still be chasing, especially after wasting 2 point-blank chances to win it outright in regulation just minutes before. Atlanta had no choice at that point but to foul immediately, stop the clock, and try to force something desperate. That foul landed on Clark. She stepped to the line with 9 seconds left and drained both free throws without the slightest hesitation, pushing the lead back out to 4 at 95-91. Atlanta got one more possession, took their shot, and came up empty. And yet, even in overtime, officials upheld another shaky, questionable foul call on Clark that briefly cracked the door back open for the Dream to steal the whole thing. Every single break that could have gone against Indiana did go against Indiana at some point during that stretch. Clark and the Fever still closed it out when it mattered most. That's the part that should really stick with anyone watching this rivalry play out week after week. It wasn't just that Clark outplayed Reese on the stat sheet, 26 points and 9 assists compared to Reese's rough shooting night. Indiana had to survive a hostile whistle, a hard and questionable foul, and a legitimate second chance for Atlanta to steal the win late, and they still walked out of that building with exactly the result they came for. That's what separates good teams from tough ones. A wide-open layup on a fast break is one of the most embarrassing things you can do anywhere in basketball. Doesn't matter if you're in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, or the pros, the WNBA, the NBA. It doesn't matter where. Missing that is just a terrible look. Full stop. And then missing a game-winning layup as a big? There's just no way to spin that. Some things simply don't have a defense. Injuries happen, sure, but 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists still looks like a strong night on paper. The problem is the fine print. She shot 5 for 16 from the field, 31% as a big. And that's not a stat line you can hide behind no matter how many boards you pull down. There's also a bigger story running underneath all this drama, and fans would be doing themselves a disservice to miss it. Both of these teams are genuinely fighting for playoff position, and every single head-to-head game between them carries real weight in the standings. Atlanta came into this one trying to claw back ground, and a win would have moved the needle in a meaningful way. Instead, they blew a golden late-game window, and Indiana kept rolling, adding another win to what's been a strong recent stretch. When you factor in how physically punishing these matchups get every single time these two teams share a floor, it starts to make sense why this one felt like it carried a little extra gravity. It wasn't just a regular mid-season game, and everyone in that building knew it. Then comes the shot. She pulls up, lets it fly, and it airballs directly into Reese's hands. And collectively, the reaction was the same from everyone watching. No way. She bricked it, point blank, with the game on the line. Brick City. That's not a one-off either. That's something we've been watching from Reese on a near-nightly basis this season. Earlier in the same game, she gets matched up on a screen against Caitlin Clark, and Clark reads it instantly. Step back, easy bucket, no contest. For Reese, this loss cuts deeper than one bad shooting night. She had the exact moment she'd been setting up for. An offensive rebound in a tied game with the clock running out, the kind of play that gets talked about for years inside a rivalry this heated. She fought for position, she got the ball, and she couldn't finish when it mattered most. Clark on the other side of it took a shot to the neck and never even got the call. In a rivalry that's been built on physicality and controversy from the very first time these two stepped on the same court together, this was the night where all of that noise faded into the background. What mattered was what happened at the rim in the final seconds, and Reese came up empty right when she needed to deliver. If you've been locked into this rivalry all season, drop your take in the comments below. Who do you think walks away from this series with the upper hand by the time the playoffs hit? Subscribe if you're sticking around for every twist this season has left to offer, and we'll see you in the next one.